Ravens and the Steelers.
In the world, professional sports, where nepotism can certainly help, but if you don't perform, you are going to get kind of cut off at the seams. It's the way it is. Feels like this is a different year for Tomlin. Feels like all the acceptance of just him being the coach for the Steelers is being viewed a little bit differently. And every time he does, which this is how Tomlin has answered things for his entire career as the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach. He's been loyal to his very core, like that, to his coaches. Yeah. He is going to remain the same thing. He has all his statements that basically say, we don't overreact when everybody else is doing it. But it feels like this year, the reaction from the people that are normally on his side, because there's always been detractors in Pittsburgh, but the people that are normally on his side, sounds like they're getting a little bit more quiet, and it's like going the other way. Could you imagine Rooney decides, like, all right, it's time to...
All right, here's the reality of it. I mean, I got 3 words for this game. Well, before the game, I got 3 words for the Steelers. Fire Matt Canada. That's it, just 3 words. Fire Matt Canada. That's it. There needs to be a huge shakeup. And yes, Mike Tomlin is a very, very loyal coach. But there has to be a time where if you're getting beat up so much, right, that you have to set the loyalty aside and take the pain and move on, right? We can talk about narcissistic and toxic relationships, and yes, it can feel so comfortable, and it's going to hurt you to leave. But guess what? You have to let go, and you have to let that burn. You have to deal with that pain and go seek therapy and get over it. But you have to let go of certain people. And we're not going to play the song "In the Arms of an Angel" right now, but that's just the reality of it. Fire Matt Canada, and we may see some changes, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's get into it. Ravens and the Steelers. Ravens 3-1, Steelers 2-2. Ravens 71.8%, 28% for your Steelers. Get into the season leaders. Lamar Jackson, 78 of 105, 794 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Kenny Pickett, 77 of 127, 803 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. On the rushing side, Lamar Jackson, 220 yards, 4 touchdowns. Najee Harris, 49 carries, 210 yards. On the receiving side of things, Flowers, 24 receptions, 244 yards. Pickens, 263 yards and 1 touchdown. As far as the injury report, Rashad Bateman, Marlon Humphrey, Odafe Owa, Ronnie Stanley, and Marcus Williams is questionable for the Ravens. For the Steelers, James Daniels, Presley Harvin, Kenny Pickett, Pat Freiermuth, and Dan Moore are either questionable or out. As far as the team stats, 349 yards for the Ravens, 284 for the Steelers. Yards allowed, 295 for the Ravens, 421 for the Steelers. Unbelievable. As for the spread, Ravens are favored by 4, over-under 38. I mean, I would say Ravens by $1 billion, but that's a Bills thing. I'm going to say Ravens by 14 on this one, ladies and gentlemen. Ravens by 14. And until there's a big shakeup for the Steelers, I just don't see them doing anything right now. And it's really a shame. It really is, because I had high hopes for Kenny Pickett. He came out so strong in preseason. He looked like he was going to do just historical numbers for the Steelers franchise, and he let everybody down. And now, I don't know, what it's going to take, but I think definitely firing Matt Canada is a start. So, Ravens by 14 on that one, ladies and gentlemen, and I am confident in that 14. I think it's a strong 14. It could be more.